Yo, yo, what's up, sir? So, I have an exam, so I'm gonna use my, studies as, videos. Yeah, alright, let's go. Oh, yeah, here. I got figurative and literal languages and stuff. So, at first, what is a figurative and literal languages? Actually, literal is just an own language, so yeah. Figurative language is basically, here, figure, fudge. Figurative is where a word or is where a sentence has special meanings. The special meanings or something to compare. Like okay, no. This is not literal because there is no practical and no way that a kid's anger could be hot as a volcano, or else his head would just literally melt. So this type of one is called a hyperbole. Do I have any arrows here and shit? I don't. I don't know. Hyperbole. So what is a hyperbole? A hyperbole. Wait, let me just make space. A hyperbole. A hyperbole or a hyperbole? I don't know, bro. Hyperbole. I'm just gonna call it a hyperbole. Is where is where is where a sentence is exaggerated, really exaggerated. One of the most famous ones is I was so I could be the worst. That is a hyperbole because it's exaggerated. You are not that hungry to eat an entire horse. Well, many people can, but it's just way too stuff. Another word is just like this. This kid's anger is hot as a volcano, or someone's uh, uh someone's water is so cold it could probably reach absolute zero. No, we can't. So that is hyperbole. Another thing is compare. What is a compare? You all know this. This is simile and metaphor. But what is it? But what do these two do? A simile is where a simile is where you compare stuff to other stuffs and compare stuffs to other stuffs using the words like or as. For example, one thing here is my sister is beautiful. It's like flat. Like that. That is a simile because it uses the word like or as, or my girlfriend. Also, guys, I don't have a girlfriend. I'm 13 years old. I'm still doing school, so yeah. My girlfriend. Look, two words here. So what is a metaphor? What a metaphor? A metaphor. Oh crap! A metaphor is just like simile, but you use alternative or different words, or or to simply put it not using the words like or as. An example of this is, say, my character. It's comparing, that person is comparing his or her character to his without using the words like or as. So the basic difference between, I'm a freaking god, bro. My parents are talking now. So the simile, you compare words and you use the words like or as. But in metaphor, you use the word, you don't use, in metaphor, you don't use the word like or as. You just use alternative words like similar, different, wildly ironically, and stuff like that. So we've already gone to that stuff. But what about, I'm gonna add extra stuff soon. But what about, now we got extra stuff soon. What about literal? We're on to the figurative side. Now let's just, oh wow, that is large as hell. Okay. Wait. To extend this. We're here, so real quick. I think this is all the, no, there's one more. Okay. Now we have one more thing. First, personification. Personification is where you describe stuff that isn't alive or simply inanimate and make it look like, or say it to be alive, or give it a human description. One famous thing about this is, say the wind whispers. The wind cannot whisper, but the person who said it gave the wind humanity or humanitarian description, whisper. So personification is basically just simile. You're comparing, oh no, you're not comparing, you're making the stuffs that aren't alive. For example, my speaker streams to me. A speaker cannot scream to you, but it does make sound. So yeah, it's qualified as a personification. You're giving life to something that isn't live. Now let's move on to this is figurative. Right? What about literal? Literal. Not just joking. What about literal? Literal, literal language is where there is no hidden or special meanings. Literal. So basically, literal language is the word or the sentence you're speaking is literal, like actually real, and it's actually happening. One word of this is I am eating a chicken. That is literal. That is literal because you are literally devouring or eating a chicken. Oh fuck, a chicken. Yeah, that is basically literal. I have nowhere big stuff to say about it, but literal is where you what do you call it again? Ah, literal language is where you are saying something that is happening and is actually real, and there's no hidden meaning behind it. So it's just literal. But what are the effects of like right, ignore my mom. Yeah. Alright, so I have to say, what is like you're gonna ask yourself, what is better? I would say, in my opinion, figurative language is so much better because it adds flavor to a sentence. It like creates a bizarre, I mean, not bizarre, not really bizarre, but like an interesting one because it's more interesting if there's a special meaning rather than literal meaning. For example, you can make a joke about you can make a joke using simile or metaphor or making something very absurd, say a tree, and personify it. Literal language is much more empty and hollow because it's literal. There's no hidden meanings. There's no special ones. There's no. You don't really need to guess what he or she is saying. But in figurative language, you can guess and have fun trying to guess. So yeah, I don't really know when this originated in the English language, but yeah, I guess. Yeah, that's all for this video. I hope you like it. I am what's up? And this is my video. Bye. And I'll like teach. And I'll teach more school stuff. Yeah. Yeah. Goodbye.